What's poppin'? Back with Draft League content, and today's gonna be a fun one because I am bringing the last remaining Pokemon I have not yet used for my draft team. This Pokemon is known as Delibird. Now I'm taking on my brother Joey PokeaimMD in a match that doesn't matter much for myself since I'm already locked into playoffs as the #1 seed, and nobody can surpass me in this placement, so I am bringing a meme team. Now Joey's team has some pretty strong mons in Dragapult, Quacklevolt, Clefable, Heatran, Azelf, Thunderstarian, and some other demons. Obviously, this won't be much of an analysis on how I'm going to destroy him since I'm saving that for playoffs, but more of an explanation on my thought process on this sort of fun team that I made for this matchup. Now, of course, as you know, I started with Delibird. I'm running Choice Scarf, and this 256 speed outruns the speed for Dragapult that Dragapult should be against my team. If he doesn't run just max speed in general, I think he's just going to run enough for what he needs to outrun, and in that way we can outrun him with our Choice Scarf Delibird. We got Hustle, so may or may not miss. It could be our first mistake, but I mean, I think this team is definitely my first mistake. But it's fine. I'm trying to bring some fun stuff here. And so yeah, Delibird, we can Ice Spinner, Brave Bird, Drill Run, all that kind of stuff. Drill Run's great versus the Heatran and any kind of Steel type he might bring. Ice Spinner is just, I think it's best Ice type attack that doesn't have a chance of missing, like Icicle Crash. Does it have Icicle Crash? I feel like it did. Ice Punch. Okay, never mind. Yeah, Ice Spinner. Ice Spinner's good. I think Ice Spinner's pretty great for this Pokemon. And yeah, Ice Shard is just there. Choice Scarf Ice Shard could be pretty useful versus a potential Shell Smash Torterra, and to be able to knock that out, but I guess it would be able to Terra, so I think it's just good for, anything that's weakened, that needs to be chipped, that's faster than us, with Choice Scarf is great for those kinds of mons. Like, I guess Dragonite Dragapult too is a potential option for that last move there. Then we have Sneasler. Now, this set here, for those that don't know the context, right? Whenever I make one of my classic Emvee jokes, on Joey's stream, people start throwing tomatoes at me in chat. They put a little tomato emoji. So he went out of his way to make a tomato emoji of a Weavile flinging a tomato. This was shortly after he made a Fling Big Nugget emoji, after I popularized Fling Big Nugget, and did a Fling Tomato with Weavile. And so, how great would it be if I took that tomato, right, as a tomato berry? This is like the closest thing to a tomato you can throw in Pokemon, and flung it at Joey. Just flung it right at him. How cool would that be, right? This is a berry that, it's called a berry, but it's a berry that it can't be eaten by the holder. No effect when eaten with Bug Bite or Pluck. So you can't even eat this. Your opponent can eat it for you and it does nothing, but you can't eat it. So might as well fling it, right? It has a base power of like 10 or 20. Big Nugget would be way better to fling, but I'm saving that for playoffs. Again, if I face him again, I'm bringing Fling Big Nugget. Hopefully, we'll see, depending on if I'm feeling it. But I was gonna bring Fling Big Nugget versus him this week, but I was like, wait a second. Something actually more meaningful to fling at him, something that would cause all sorts of psychological damage, would be to fling a big tomato. And here it is. So that's what we're doing here. And of course we got the classic moves, Acrobatics, Dire Claw, Close Combat, just hit some stuff, but this is the real power. Fling Unburdened Tomato. Now we have the Dunsparce. Now I actually, so the set that I'm bringing here is Coiled 3 attacks with Scale Shot and Chopple. I think that's a pretty fun set to run. Now I've not seen the animation. I don't think I've seen the animation for Hyper Drill, which is like the signature move of the Dunsparce. So I was like, okay, wait a second. What if I just bring this move just to see how it looks like? That's what I'm doing. And that's why I brought a set like this, which after Scale Shot is faster than Quacklevolt. Now we have Hisuian Gudra. Citrus Berry, I didn't know what item to run on this. I mean, AV makes a lot of sense, but it's what I always bring, right? I had to run Citrus Berry. Citrus Berry is actually one of the more popular Chinese items to run, like Chinese EV spreads and stuff like that. I've seen a lot of people run Citrus Berry from that community, so I like that. And Mud Shot. And so we got Steel Beam, like double beam, right? Ice Beam, Steel Beam. And then Thunder Mud Shot. I think it's really cool. Mud Shot is, I think, 50 power. What is it, 55? Where's Mud Shot? 55 power, yeah. It's 55, 95 accuracy. So it could miss, but it can lower speed. Even though we're slow, it's super effective against the Heatran, right? I was looking, I mean, Earthquake would make a lot more sense with a whatever thing, but it's Mud Shot. That's kind of cool. From a Goomon shooting mud, kind of nice. But yeah, that's my thought process on that. Wheezing, so I obviously, wanted to at least put a little glue for the team. So I have a Custap Berry Memento Wheezing so that we can knock ourselves out and try to sweep with Sneasler or the Dunsparce, perhaps, or I guess even Manaphy. I didn't even know Manaphy got Weather Ball. I saw that move, I'm like, ooh, I gotta run that with Rain Dance. And I actually, well, I guess a more logical thought process on it is that maybe Clef could T-Wave and stuff like that, and so I have Hydration, Rain Dance is cool, and Weather Ball just hits really hard in general with Rain boosted 100 power stab move, so it's kind of nice. And the Key Berry is an option for us to like take an Aqua Step, get a +1 defense boost from Quacklevolt, and just beat it with Energy Ball. So that's a way we could do that because it'll be -1 and then it can't revenge us with anything. So I think that's cool, but otherwise, yeah, just some Chinese EV spreads here and there I scattered a bit, which is nice. And yeah, that's basically the team that I'm bringing here. I feel like it's cool. Like we have Choice Scarf, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 berries, but one of the berries isn't as it seems, a disguised berry. We're gonna like, so like, you know, like we're bringing in a bunch of berries and Joey's happy and stuff, but there's one berry that's like hidden in there that we're gonna throw at him, and that's gonna be the tomato. Hopefully, you know, if we could do that, that'd be great. And I guess ultimately I just really want Delibird to put in work, and that's why I'm bringing a lot of really not so great sets so that I can try to make Delibird shine. That's kind of the goal for this match, is to make Delibird do something, because I think on its own it's kind of really hard to do that, and I feel like it'll get outshined. But at the end of the day, like I said, I just wanted a more fun week, more chill kind of thing. I didn't have a lot of time because it's Thanksgiving, and I'm doing a lot of stuff with family and all that kind of stuff. It's been a really busy week, so I mean, this team is untested, obviously. I just built it, and we're gonna try it out against him, so we'll see what happens. But yeah, if I can do everything I want to do for this game, which I'm still thinking about it, but definitely throwing a tomato and making this thing put in work at least, that'll be great. That would be fantastic. But with that being said, I would think it's time for us to get into the battle. And so whenever that begins, we'll queue into it. I do have one little thing to say before that though, and so I'll transition to that momentarily. Many people have asked me what's the best way to get better at team building and battling in competitive Pokemon, and watching my vids definitely helps a lot with that. Subscribe if you haven't already. But it can also be very difficult to replicate many years of experience without true understanding and enlightenment. Like flinging big nuggets, for example. Took me a while to get here. Now my good friend Mr. Janvet, who's a fantastic player, put together a comprehensive bundle called Team Builder Toolbox, focused primarily on getting you to the next level with both team building and battling. And I am an affiliate, which is cool since it's exactly the type of stuff that I do. Read through all of this if you're interested, but to give you the quick breakdown of what's included if you're interested in leveling yourself up, you get a lot of stuff for this, right? Let me go through it. First, you get access to a private community of top players, so connections, very important. You get to eliminate ladder anxiety, build yourself some confidence. It's always nice when you're going into a battle. Mastering team previews, so, you know, leads and win conditions, stuff like that, very, very important in battling. Dominate in your battles, how to crush people. Crash course, more like crush course. Find your mistakes every time. So very good guide on self-analysis, I'm sure. You know, you'll be able to see your mistakes, improve yourself. The laws of competitive Pokemon, there's 7 of them, lucky number. And then an app that builds real teams in seconds. It's an AI app as well, so it's in beta, so it's gonna get better and better and better. And there's more information on like a lot of this stuff on Jam's channel, so if you want to check that out, you can. But yeah, this is I think you get a lot of stuff for it. Testimonials on this page too. I wrote something nice, Joey wrote something nice, Blood wrote something nice. I think by the time this video goes up, it'll only be the last day that you can get it. So, but if you're not sure, if you're on the fence, there is a 30-day money-back guarantee, which helps a lot. If you're, you know, not finding it useful, you can get your money back. But I think it's great if you want to take your game to the next level, and this is the best way to do it. Obviously, you put a lot of time and effort into this, so yeah, check it out if you want. Use my link, supports me greatly. And with that, back to our regular scheduled program. The final week of the regular season is here, and I'm pulling up with what you could call a semi-meme team, or I guess maybe even closer to a meme team than you think. It was Thanksgiving week, obviously, so, you know, I haven't tested or practiced or anything like that for this week since I've been extremely busy. That's why I figured I'll bring some fun stuff, but regardless, it's fine since, you know, we're secured in the playoffs, locked at the #1 seed regardless, taking on my great friend Joey PokeaimMD. Therefore, I get to bring things I would never normally bring for playoffs. And if you saw from my team builder, you know exactly what I'm bringing. But essentially, I have 3 goals in this video. The first one is to actually make Delibird get a knockout. That's my #1 goal to make happen, to make the featured Mon put in work. Second goal is flinging a tomato at Joey, gotta do that. Third goal is activating all of my many berries. Let's see if we can do that. But of course, please do subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. On my way to 100K. And if you enjoy the content, it would help me out a lot and be very much appreciated. Let's see what he's bringing. Very curious. His internet has not been good, by the way. So just to preface that, hopefully we don't disconnect. But yeah, it looks like he's got a pretty serious team. He's got the Appleton, which is a great answer to my Delibird. He knew I was bringing Delibird because I've been announcing that everywhere I go. I've been tooting my horn, announcing that I'm bringing Delibird in my last video, on streams with him, stuff like that. So he knows I'm bringing Delibird. That's why he brought the Appleton, probably, because it has thick fat and potential terrestrialization. But he also has Terra Torterra. He's got the terrestrialization along with the Appleton. So it's going to be quite interesting to see what we can do here. He's got the Dragapult, Heatran, Quaquaval, really big threatening Pokemon, Clefable as well, which is an annoying mon. But looking at my potential leads, I do think that Delibird is a great one. So I'm going to lead with it. I have all my berry mons, of course. My tomato berry is my tomato. 5 berries that aren't exactly all the same. One of them in there is maybe not as much of a berry as the others. So we'll see what happens. I do think that his potential leads can be Dragapult, Heatran, or Clefable. Those are the 3 potential leads I'm thinking. If there is a Choice Scarf Quaquaval, that could also be a lead too. I don't think there would be lead Torterra unless it's defensive with rocks, but Heatran is probably his rocker for the team. Pretty scary team overall. I don't know if his sets are going to be as memey as mine, but only time will tell. He decides to challenge me. May or may not be his first mistake. Actually, it will be his first mistake. If I actually fling that tomato, it will be his first mistake, guaranteed. So Dragapult lead into the Delibird. Now, I have one of 2 options here. So I'm faster than Dragapult if he sets himself to be only as fast as the mon that he needs to be faster than. I will be faster than it. So I could Ice Spinner here just to knock it out immediately. But if he decides that he wants to switch out here, right? Because looking at his team, he can switch out potentially into something like Heatran. If he's predicting maybe a Brave Bird or something. I don't know. Or just Ice Spinner in general. Drill Run would be my play in that case, which would be a really big play to make, and I'm really tempted to do it. So turn 1, do I just immediately predict the Heatran, or do I go for Ice Spinner on the Dragapult? I think I kind of am leaning towards the Drill Run, so I'm gonna go for it and see what happens, right? I mean, either way, it's a Delibird for all. Oh, he switches. Hold on. That is the Heatran. Ooh! Turn 1. It doesn't knock it out. Oh, it times for super effective. Hustle, boost doesn't even no code, but still, that's a power play. Turn 1, that is an insane power play to make from a Delibird. Delibird already putting in work. Now, I could Drill Run again, but I feel like he might switch out into one of his 2 grass types, either Appleton or Torterra. So I could potentially predict the switch and go into my Galarian Weezing, which would be a pretty good play. So, because I don't think he stays in for another Drill Run. Obviously, I'm faster than him. He must also be thinking about what speed I am. To lead with Delibird and stay in versus Pult and make that prediction would probably lead him to believe that I am, of course, choiced. Maybe not choice Ben now that he's seen the damage, but let's see what he goes into here. If he actually switches to one of his grass types, our first 2 turns are phenomenal. Alright, who's this? This is the Appleton. Ooh, not bad. And yeah, this is great. So Appleton doesn't have coverage versus me, I don't think. Apple Acid, Dragon Pulse, stuff like that. I feel like Strange Team here is kind of a play that we can make. And I do have my cut step for Memento where we can use to potentially activate a setup opportunity for a mon like the Dunsparce or the Manaphy. And I think he might save his Terra for Torterra. So this should be fine. But you know me, trying out some new stuff, bringing a lot of heat to this matchup. And obviously I don't want to reveal what I would bring in playoffs because he's a potential guy that I'll be facing in playoffs. And it's already week 8 and I'm secured at, playoffs #1 seed, etc. But, Terra Steel is a good call, but I don't know if he has anything that can hit me with, unless he's Terra Blast. Ooh, I actually did not think about that for a second. And it is, okay. Do I live this? Is the question. I do. Okay, so I'm in Custap range now, so actually I could save this Mon. I forgot that he could, so I mean, like, I knew he could Terra with it, but I was like, okay, I saw Torterra as well. I'm like, does he really want to Terra the apple and not the Torterra? But now that he's not Torterra, I could actually Ice Beam that Mon, which is cool. Do I Memento here? I don't think I do. What if I go Sneasler, right? I could go Sneasler here. And conveniently enough, if he switches out, that'd be great, because he might expect me to be Custap Destiny Bond, so if I go Sneasler here, that'd be an aggressive offensive play, because I'm thinking that he's gonna probably expect something Custap Berry, Galarian Weezing with Destiny Bond, so if he tries to attack again, and his Apple goes down, Delibird can do a lot of work. So I wanna, consider that he's, a smart player, so he probably expects Custap, and let's see what he does. Does he attack or not? He switches. Okay, exactly. So what does he go into? That's the Heatran, right? Yep. So that is a potential play he could make if he was expecting Destiny Bond. He'd go Heatran, probably set up rocks. So this play that we just made is an aggressive one and a good one at that. So we've anticipated. Do I want to fling the tomato now? Probably not. I could fling the tomato. It's a little early to fling the tomato right now. I think I'm going to close combat just in case he wants to sack this Mon. Because, if he was expecting Fling Big Nugget, he wouldn't go hard Dragapult, right? Because if I just flung a Big Nugget right now, hard Dragapult would just die. If I was Big Nugget, I would fling the Big Nugget right now. But obviously I'm saving that for other times. I wanted to bring Fling Big Nugget to this week, but I realized I could maybe do that in playoffs sometime. So flinging a tomato would be more poetic. Or it would be more meaningful. I guess it would send a message. And he goes Dragapult. Okay, so that's a little annoying. Just a little annoying. Yeah, obviously, flinging my tomato would do probably 10% to this Dragapult. Maybe 15. But regardless, I think I could go potentially Weezing here if he's going to go for like a Draco Meteor. But if he's predicting the Weezing, I could go into probably my Goodra is a safe switch in because I can sponge hits on both the physical and special side. I'm very defensive, and I have Mud Shot. I have Mud Shot not for this Mon, but I have Ice Beam that can be good against it. And if he goes into Appleton, I can just Mud Shot. This is turning out to be a very interesting game as well. Like just these starting turns. So sub, okay. So that's interesting. It does seem like he is rocking more of a serious team. But I think I can probably Ice Beam. If he's like sub DD or sub disable, that could be annoying, but I think either way we can get some damage off after we break the sub. If he's Dragon Dance, that's fine. I think we can 1v1 it if it's Dragon Dance. Because my defense is pretty high for this Mon. My defense is quite nice. So yeah, him being behind the sub is annoying. It just kind of goes to show what he might be. It could be like a status hex set, or it could be sub DD or sub disable. Sub DD disable is another option too. If he wants to run mono attacking. Nah, he can't run mono attacking either Dragon Darts or Phantom. But I already told him I'm bringing fun stuff, so. Okay, that's not much damage at all. The second darts looked powerful than the first. That's interesting. Okay, so we have broken this sub. Now, the question is, if he wants to disable me, I can switch up moves. But also, if he is going to switch, it would probably be into... What would he switch into? So, I could... It's not good for me to double. I don't think he could sub. But if he wants to switch, he could go Appleton, I guess, right? Appleton's a Mon that can sponge the Ice Beam and the Thunderbolts, the Steel attacks, the Dragon attacks. So maybe it's in my best interest now, instead of clicking Ice Beam, to predict that switch and go for A mud shot. A nice mud shot would be quite nice here. If Hisui and Gujo got Earth Power, that would be so nice, but because it's a fun team, I had to run the mud shot. Switches out. Okay, let's see what he goes into. I'm curious now. That's the Appleton, right? I think it is the Appleton. Yes, it is. Mud shot time. Ah, nice respectable damage, 25-ish, 20, 30. I'll go for another one probably. I could probably just click this again. So now, okay, so my goal is to just make this thing burn out of recovers. If he has that, which I definitely think he does. That thing is a very bulky Appleton. But the damage that I saw on Weezing, which is mine is more speed F, it's leading me to believe that this definitely has offensive EVs, but it's just really bulky as well. I mean, Appleton is naturally bulky as a Pokemon. You know, it's pretty good, especially into this matchup. There's the recover. So I definitely want to go Weezing at some point. On one of the turns he goes for an attack, and the attack that he'd go for on Gujo would either be Draco Meteor or Dragon Pulse or some kind of a dragon move, because obviously, you know, Terra Blast Steel and Apple Acid and whatever this thing has wouldn't work on my Gudra. So gonna try to find a way to get in Weezing safely and then pivot out. He's definitely aware of my Custap barrier though. I have a feeling. I mean, I kind of know the way he thinks. We've been playing together for so long, this game. Known each other for a while too, so we know how we operate. But I can Mud Shot one more time to force another recover, make him burn another turn. And we did see Dragon Pulse. I ate my Citrus Berry as well, which is nice. I got to show him that berry. Imagine 5 Berrymons and a Scarf Delibird. How fire is that? Pretty heat. Nice. Nice chip. This mon is super slow now, even if it wasn't already. Alright, cool. And now I think it's time to... I believe this is the time we go Weezing here, because he's not gonna try to waste a recover right now, I don't think, right? And Weezing pivoting out into Sneasler would be, I think, the best play to make. Assuming he's aware of the Custap Destiny Bond potential that is gonna be there. I mean, I did tell him, I'm bringing heat, I'm bringing meme stuff. He knows, so he might expect that, of course. So gonna go here into Sneasler, and you know what? I do want to fling my tomato. I do, I really do. And I'm kind of getting tired of this apple. Let me assess whether I should fling my tomato after this turn, depending on what he does. I would assume he goes Heat Train if he's predicting the Custap once again to try to get rocks up, and then I could just adapt accordingly. Maybe fling next time. Oh no, he just recovers here. Okay, so he used up another recover, which is great for us. He's at full HP now though, which is fine. Close combat is tempting, but if he goes back into Dragapult, maybe he does predict Fling Big Nugget. I am Fling Tomato though, so it's not going to do much to Dragapult, nor to any of his members, but I'm tempted, and I really think it's time. See, I'm tired of his Appleton, I'm tired of him. I think it's time we throw a tomato at him, right? Like, it's time, let's do it. I want to say, I'm super curious to see his reaction to my Fling Tomato. Gotta throw a tomato at him for this one. For this bring, I gotta throw a tomato at him. He's got the tomato emoji too, so as a result, I gotta fling the first tomato in competitive Pokemon history. You know, if I don't win this game, I win this game right now. Like, that's it. I'm winning right now. This is how I win. Okay, he switches. I guess he's going. So is he sacking the Heatran? But take this, fling the tomato. Yo, that was so funny. That was pathetic. Look at that damage. It did like 5 damage. Oh, that's so good. I got to fling the tomato at him. I did it! The first time in history. Fling tomato berry. And I flung the tomato right at him. Look at the heat trend. Now heat trend's looking like a tomato right now. After I transformed it into a tomato from this tomato berry. You know what's crazy? The tomato berry can't be eaten at all. Like, you can't do anything with it except throw it, like fling it. I guess opposing Pokemon can pluck it from you. Or bug bite it from you. But that's insane. Let's, I guess, knock this out. Maybe he's like too flabbergasted at this point. And just stays in. He does. Dead Heatran. Heatran already knew its fate as soon as I threw that tomato at Joey. As soon as I threw the tomato at him, Heatran knew. Okay, it's over. Goodbye, Heatran. Nice. So yeah, we got to throw a tomato. We got to fling a tomato at him. Not even a big nugget. I'm saving that for later. Maybe playoffs. But Fling Tomato is just way more in style. And I think with that, I've won the game. I've won the battle, the war, everything. Evil Emvee right here. You know, Evil Emvee just threw a tomato at Joey. That's amazing. Go ahead and leave a comment and say GG it's tomato. And go to Joey's side of the game and just drop tomato emojis. Just straight drop tomato emojis on his side. Just do that. That's crazy. Anyways. What do I do here? Close combat knocks this out. Why did he go back into this? Close combat definitely knocks this out. Unless he thinks he's bulkier than he should be, or he's trying to like double into Dragapult, I guess, or waste my close combats. He could do that, I guess. Oh, it's Choppleterra. That's cool. That's strong though. Through Chopple, that is really strong. But now I'm -2, so I guess if he attacks, he would knock me out. Yeah, I mean, obviously that's a smart bring. Smart bring into my Sneasler. But he will never emotionally recover from Fling Tomato. He will never emotionally recover from that. Oh, that's crazy. Okay, so yeah, he does knock out my Sneasler with his fat apple. The Dunsparce Earthquake can revenge here, potentially, but what if instead of the Dunsparce I go Delibird, right? And force him to make another play here. I think that would be an incredibly fire play, because the Dunsparce can Earthquake here, sure, but I want the knockout with Delibird. I really, really badly want the knockout with Delibird. So I think I might go into it, actually. I think I'm gonna go into it. Let's do it. All right, we're back. Unfortunately, Joey's internet disconnected. Wasn't the best, but we recreated. And back to this point. So it took a few tries. My Delibird was kind of going crazy. Some of the turns in which it had to do stuff. But speaking of which, we have to decide what we're going to go for on this turn. Now, with that in mind, we have 2 options. Drill Run, well, I guess 3 options. Drill Run, Ice Spinner, or Brave Bird. Now, Drill Run would knock this out, but he has some good switch-ins, or decent switch-ins to it. Brave Bird would be a great all-around one, but if he decides to stay in, that'd be bad. Brave Bird is cool. Let's look at his team real quick. So Brave Bird hits a bunch of stuff, but if he like goes Dragapults, he would obviously live. So I'm gonna Ice Spinner. Just to make a play. If he goes Torterra on the ground move, I knock it out too. It's Dragapult! Woo! Did we get a knockout? Ice Spinner! Please knock it out. Yes! Delibird got the kill! Delibird got the kill! Oh, shoot! Delibird got the kill! We did it! Oh, we knocked out the highest tiered Mon with a Delibird. We knocked out his main first pick Pokemon with a Choice Scarf Delibird. Delibird got the knockout. That's it. That's all I gotta say. Delibird got the knockout. Oh, wow. That's the greatest gift I could ever give you all, is a knockout from Delibird. And of course now, officially, Delibird has gotten a knockout. It's that simple. And yeah, Quackle's in. Now I might get swept by this mon. It was worth it though, it was worth it. Because if I Brave Birded, you know, then he'd get to be able to pivot around and stuff like that. Because my Delibird probably doesn't do damage to Clef or anything either. So Ice Spinner was great in that scenario. Now, versus this mon, I could go Weezing to potentially, if he tries to bulk up or whatever, but I think Manaphy's the play. I have my Key Berry, so hopefully he's not like super Swords Dance right now, so I don't get to activate my Key Berry, but wow, that Delibird turn was so good. I really can't wait to see his side and his reaction to my Fling Tomato and Delibird knocking out Dragapult. Oh wow, okay, so let's see what happens. He goes for the sub. Okay, so it's a sub Quackleval. An Aqua Step into a close combat shouldn't knock me out. I'll get a Key Berry activation and I'll be faster anyways, so I could just go for the Energy Ball to pop the sub. I pop the sub here, I could activate Key Berry. So my Manaphy, of course, Eevee to withstand Quackleval, you know, especially after the Aqua Step. Which I thought he might have gone for on the Delibird, now that I think about it, but I feel like we could beat this thing depending on what he goes for here. If he Swords Dances up, that's potentially a problem. +2 close combat would, if he was offensive, knock me out. Okay, okay. What does he go for here? Focus Energy. I didn't even know it got that. Oh, Focus Energy is cool. I never saw that on when I don't think I saw that when I had Quackleval last season. I never saw that. So yeah, Focus Energy is crazy because he could crit through like everything now. Oh shoot, he could crit through my Key Berry as well. Well, I mean, it's only a potential chance, right? Focus Energy is what, 50% crit rate? It's only 50% crit rate, unless he's running like a Scope Lens or something, which would be a really cool set. A different one from, you know, the other sets he's got. I mean, that's a pretty cool set. I'll give him that. So there's an Energy Ball here. Do we knock it out? Ooh, we don't, unfortunately. That was close. Ah, dang. That is a lot too. Critical hit, yep, that is a lot. He gets the speed boost, I get my Key Berry activation, but that's good prep, right? Like, you know, he goes through my Key Berry defense boosts with his critical hitmon. Hopefully he doesn't crit, but I mean, if he's an item that boosts crit ratio plus Focus Energy, would always be a crit for every single move, I think, right? Do I want to just pick this off at the Weather Ball? Just to show him I have the move in case I live? I'll just Energy Ball here just in case. Of something, I don't know. Focus Energy, Aqua Step, Sub, and Fighting Move, right? Has to be. That's cool prep. Or just, I mean, just a good set in general. You can't really prep if I'm just bringing a meme team. Or you wouldn't know what to prep for. Yeah, it was a critical hit again. Okay, so yeah, he does knock me out through all of that. And I might be swept with by Quackleval. Actually, no, I don't think I do, because I have an emergency Custap mon that I've been saving, which I can go into. Unless Bundle's faster, but I don't think it's faster than this mon. My bundle is not faster than a +1 speed, offensive speedy Quackleval. So I don't think it is. I think I should just go for the Clear Smog just to be safe. Strange Steam has a 95% accuracy and can miss. So I'm gonna go for the Clear Smog. So I mean, obviously he has been thinking about my Custap, but maybe he doesn't think about it now? Or maybe he thinks I'm Rocky Helmet. Because I've been Rocky Helmet wheezing quite a bit. Huh, okay. So, yeah, this Quack is a huge threat. It's one of the reasons I was able to snowball so much in last season's draft when I had Quack myself. And this was even before it had the buffs with, ooh, did he stay in? Ah, it switches out. Why can't you switch out and then I activate my... If I'm activating my Custap, I should be able to hit him before he switches out. Like, what is that? Yeah, okay, so he goes back in Apple. So he definitely knew about the Cust app, but it's fine because that just allowed me not to get swept by Quackable, so I will take it. Now, what could the play be? I could go hard into like Goodra or something, but I could Memento here and get my Dunsparce set up as well. That's another potential option. Strange Team is another play I can make to try to confuse this Mon, but I think he's just gonna go for the recover here anyways, and I want a turn to get up Coil unharmed. And Coil actually kind of just does so much work now. Now that Dragapult's gone and like, you know, I don't think I have the opportunity to scale shot, so I could probably Memento here into the Dunsparce and set up a Coil. Although I guess if he brought Unaware Clef, then, you know, he's a party pooper, but that would be annoying. Yeah, he recovers here. But my Hyper Drill is pretty strong. I would assume it could 2-hit KO the Clef, depending on his set. If it's like full Fizz Def, probably not, but I assume it's like more, if he expects like Boom Burst or Special to done, it'd probably be more Spidef or just bulky on the Spidef side. So yeah, my play obviously now is to Coil. Try to commit with this Mon, see what happens. But I mean, either way, I definitely got lost in the sauce after the Delibird. That was so fire. But that Quack set was really cool too. I definitely did not expect Focus Energy. I would definitely draft Quackable again at some point. Quackable is so cool. I mean, that Mon had a lot for it, even before the DLC editions, like Knockoff, and I think Focus Energy was not there before. I don't remember seeing Focus Energy. I would have brought a really cool set with it otherwise on one of the weeks. There's Clef. So this has to be Unaware, right? This has to be. That'd be annoying, but if it's not, actually, I'm pretty sure we could potentially win with this Mon. I don't know why I moused over Terra. I forgot. I was like, no, this is not the season for that. That was last season. If I just took Terra Normal, I would smush this Mon right now. I would absolutely smush it. But yeah, I let all my Terra Captains take a break this week. All of them. No Terra Captains this week. He goes for the trick. What does he do? Sticky Barb? He switches me a Choice Scarf. Oh, okay. Obtain Chocolate Berry. So even though I didn't get to use my Chocolate Berry, he knows what it is. He knows what item I am. I've shown off the Key Berry, the Citrus Berry. I've kind of shown off the Chocolate Berry now. Kind of shown it off, right? Shown off the Custap Berry. So the only other berry I haven't shown off is what? Manaphy. I did Manaphy. I did the Dunsparce. I did Goodra. I guess I've shown off. Oh, and the tomato. Yeah, I flung the tomato at him. I've shown off everything. Okay, nice. So okay, that's great. I've accomplished all my goals. I've KO'd him on with Delibird. I flung the tomato at Joey, and I've shown off all my berries. So close. So close, just out of range. But he Baton Passes out, which is interesting. Baton Pass. I mean, Clef is really weak. Quack is really weak. Torterra can't Terra. There's actually a chance I can win with Scarf Delibird. Now that I think about it. There's actually a chance. So I'm locked into Hyper Drill. I'm at +1 right now. I don't see how I can possibly switch out here. Goodra would be a good switch, but I don't know exactly what I'll be able to do with it. I could stall it out of recovery, but then if I bring back in the Dun and go for like Earthquakes, how do I see how many recovers it has left? I don't know. Anyways, I think he's used up like 3 or something. But if I go Goodra to try to burn more recovers, my Goodra dies. I go back into the Dun. If I lock myself into Earthquake, he gets a Shell Smash with Torterra. Then I guess I could Ice Shard late game, but I don't think I'll be able to get rid of Appleton. Oh no, he would just save Appleton for Delibird. But this did pretty good damage actually. If I somehow crit, I can actually knock out everything else with Delibird. That's so close. Okay, literally, if I just crit one move, I mean, I obviously, you know, making up hypotheticals, but yeah, if that was somehow, if I got fortunate, if I got fortunate there, I would have just won with Delibird on the spot. That would have been so good. That would have been so funny. Because my Delibird's faster than everything else. Just like lock myself in an Ice Spinner. Or even Ice Shard, probably just to be safe. In case of like Yachi Shell Smash or something. There's another recover. I wish Hyper Drill had a high crit ratio. Like Hyper Fang. Does that have a high crit ratio? I feel like it might. I feel like every Eradicate in the old gen games were doing so much damage with that. Yeah, this Appleton has been so obnoxious throughout this entire game. It's been so annoying. It has been so annoying. I understand though, he, you know, he does need this win to at least be in a good spot to choose an opponent. Obviously, we're not going to be choosing each other. And hopefully we end up in a place where we can fight in the finals. And I'll be bringing my real team for that. But I think when I have one Hyper Drill left, because I want damage on this, then I need to go Delibird, and then I need to crit Drill Run, go back into the Dun. I don't even know what I can do at this point. I don't think I can win this, but at the same time, I'm pretty satisfied. There's Dragon Pulse. Okay, I do live this, that's fine. Alright, let me see here. I have one Hyper Drill left. Torterra's annoying. Yeah, I have no idea how to get rid of this Appleton. I guess maybe I could have gone Goodra to waste some more recoveries, but then yeah, I mean, I think it'll just end up in the same story. The same scenario type thing. Trying to think. My bundle does live a Dragon Pulse if he tries to go for it again. It does have a, it only dies like 30% of the time from Dragon Pulse. Unless he goes for Terra Blast here, which I don't think he will. There's the recover. I think at this point he's probably out of recovers, right? I think he's out of recovers, if I counted correctly. So yeah, he's out of recovers. At this point, I mean, I could just try to get more differential by going Goodra and stuff. It doesn't matter. I want Delibird to like put in more work if possible. See what we can do here. I literally brought Thwackey, Sableye, and Delibird back to back to back weeks, and all of them have done something incredible. I don't know how much damage this is gonna do. I feel like it might do a lot. I don't know if we O-code with the crit. Probably not, right? This thing is really bulky. Drill Run. Ooh, yeah, with the crit it would do like 75 or 70. Putting it in range of Goodra. Then he wouldn't, then we would just go Quack and yeah. But I have a Choice Scarf on the Dun. Yeah, but Torterra I think is really good against. Yeah, I know even though I'm bringing a fun team, I was still trying to think of how I could have won this, but I don't think I could have. I think I played relatively well for what I wanted to do with this team. I think I played all right. Earthquake here, or if he just goes Torterra to preserve differential, I think he definitely wants differential, right? Because he wants to have the higher seed or higher spot. Nobody can surpass my number 1 seed, of course, but that's fine. Let me Hyper Drill here. Predict the Torterra to come in. Which would be a pretty fire prediction. I think I've predicted like the majority of his switches. I've predicted the majority of them all. But he just like kind of knew about Custap. Custap would have come in clutch at some point. Like against the Quack, if I knocked it out, it would have been pretty cool. But yeah, he definitely brought a more serious team for sure. Still, the Quack set, I really love the Quack set a lot. Decent damage. Yeah, this mon is bulky as anything. Super bulky mon. Even though I'm like max attack, adamant, and that Hyper Drill is cool. I actually have never seen the signature move of Hyper Drill. That's kind of my reasoning for bringing a set like this, is because I wanted to see the animation of Hyper Drill, and now I do. But now I can get a Choice Scarf Struggle into this mon, which will be fun to see a struggle. It will be very fun to see a struggle here. Ooh, he's Choice Scarf on Torterra. Ooh, okay, so Choice Scarf Torterra is interesting, very interesting. So he wasn't Shell Smash at all. That's crazy. If I knocked out the apple from the Hyper Drill, if I got fortunate and knocked out the Appleton, I would have actually won with Delibird. But I don't think I would have won with Delibird otherwise. As long as Apple was around, there was no chance. And he brought the Appleton because I think he knew I was bringing Delibird, so... Ooh, you know what I could do actually? Theatrics. I could do some theatrics here. I'm a Terra. I have a new Terra captain, Evil Emvee here. Got a Terra captain. I'm gonna Terra here. Ooh, Terraguja looks kind of nice. Got the axe. Look at this mon. Doesn't matter anyways. I mean, he's gonna knock me out just for theatrics. Headlong Rush, and he shall win this game. That is gonna be a good game. It's aim. He may have won the battle, but I won the war. Very nice. Some really cool sets on both sides for sure. I'm just super happy I got a knockout with Delibird against the highest tiered mon in the entire draft league. Delibird went crazy, and I got the Fling Tomato versus Joey as well. Activated most of my berries, which is cool, but obviously I wasn't trying to bring my true hand versus him since we have unfinished business in finals. And I really hope for the Joey Emvee rematch so I can get my revenge as Evil Emvee. I was not Evil Emvee today, obviously, but this is also why I didn't bring Blood Moon and some other stuff into this game, because I am trying to do something poetic in playoffs. If you remember at the beginning in my team builder, I showed Ursaluna fall as regular Ursaluna. I'm gonna be bringing Blood Moon probably to finals and try some stuff. And I have some ideas as well. I think after this game, the differential that happened in this game, Joey should hopefully be, I think, a number 3 seed according to my calculations, which means we have a greater chance of not facing each other until finals, depending on how things go with everyone else. We'll see what happens though, but I hope you all enjoyed the 8 weeks of the regular season. Honestly, this season has been the most entertaining draft has been for me, with all like the Evil Emvee stuff and all the stuff we've been doing. Now I just gotta focus on playoffs, which is gonna be next. I gotta choose my opponents, and hopefully my choice will be a good one. And I will be bringing some good stuff as well for sure. But yeah, this was a really fun game though. I'm really happy that I brought Delibird and it did stuff. Like Delibird, I think, put in the most work out of everyone. Delibird and maybe Sneasler, I guess. Like kind of. Yeah, Delibird definitely put in the most work. I mean, it weakened most of Heatran. If I got the crit on the drill run, it would have destroyed it. And actually, like, before like the disconnect, during some of the recreations, Delibird did crit, so he had to redo. It would have been nice if I got some of that fortune before, but regardless though, yeah, solid game overall. Subscribe to me and subscribe to Joey, my best friend. If you enjoy my content, you'll see me a lot in his channel. Go sub to him. And I created him using some of my DNA, and he's been going strong ever since. I gave him that channel many years ago. Super proud of where he's at now, almost at 500,000, but we're almost at 100,000 as well. So doing some work. But yeah, I shall see you all soon for the next one. And with that being said, goodbye.